Good morning. Well, maybe it's a morning. I don't know if we would call it good, though. But we'll see here. Sure, everything's good to go here. Alright, we should be good. Yep, everything looks good on my end. Good morning, everybody. Day 5. We'll see if we go a whole week with no trades this week. It'll be very unfortunate if that's what happens. But can't force it. CDIO had a pretty impressive move in after hours. You look at the daily. This thing, historically, it hasn't been over $10 in, a little under a year. So for it to go all the way to 10 in after hours yesterday, very impressive. Basically, this move from what was essentially $1, it's almost a 10x move in total. So very impressive. However, this is a stock that seems to be making moves during, you had one move during the day here, you had another move during after hours. Yeah, I wouldn't say it's concentrated very heavily to pre-market. Another data point on the graph. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything else is really moving in particular. And GNE. It moved again after hours, and it's kind of just gone sideways since. Probably earnings or something. No, but fair enough. But yeah, looking like another final day to the week. Gonna be slower. Wow, there's a lot of good mornings in the chat. You guys are all here real early. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. All right, we'll give it a few minutes after 7, see if anything pops up here. Nothing really interesting catches my eye, and I'll probably throw on some music. So good morning, Soul. Good morning, Orion. Good morning, Sunny. Good morning, Carl. Good morning, Golbit Rockin. That's a name. Good morning, Andrea. Good morning, good morning. 18 people this early? You guys are crazy. The market's cold. It's dead. Why are you all here? Well, I appreciate you guys being here. I would ask for likes, but you've already given me 7. That's already very awesome. Thank you guys so much. Good morning, Jolzarangu. You guys are really putting me on the spot with these names. It's quite the list of names you guys have. Good morning, Matt. We're all fans of the channel. Oh, I appreciate it. It sucks, right? And I was doing some recon yesterday because you got to ask yourself sometimes, because I haven't had a 4-day no trade streak in about a year. So I was like, having a bit of an internal reflection, thinking, is it me that's the problem, right? And you should always ask yourself, when anything deviates and it doesn't meet the norm, you should always ask yourself, are you the problem? So I was looking across several other people, as well as just reviewing some of the last few days, and realistically, there haven't been many movers. All right, but enough internal ranting. We do actually have something moving, so got to get on point here. All right, KORE moving. Go ahead and open my spreadsheets. I do have some things also to talk about, but we'll wait until we have a breathing room before I do that. All right. Very weird daily chart, actually. This thing's gone sideways and just kind of grinded higher. Very interesting. Yeah, very weird price action here. Okay, announces agreement to be acquired by Searchlight Capital Partners. Well, this has a strong don't short signal, so I'm not going to even mess with it. I will check to see if I'm able to short it, though. All right, let's do a check. I am able to, and there is not much of a borrow fee, so very interesting to note there. We could do a paper trade to see what would have happened, but I assume that it would have been... I mean, it's in unfavorable conditions, so I'm not really expecting much. Yeah. Wow. Yeah, no, yeah, this just popped up immediately. I mean, still, 76% pop within the first few minutes. Very impressive. I'm actually really happy to see that, just considering how cold it's been. Seeing this at the top of the hour, the first few minutes of the day. Really, actually, I'm really happy to see this pop up. I'm hoping this holds and maybe even makes some moves. I just want to see something holding up, you know? Good morning, but in Germany it's lunchtime. Well, good afternoon, sir. Another fellow German. You know, I'm German too. I have German heritage. I'm half German. What are your thoughts on NVIDIA's value? Are you holding it or don't like it? I thought NVIDIA was overpriced at one point. I don't know. I haven't checked on it recently. Wow, okay, so it's just kind of stayed at this elevated level. Very weird. Yeah, it's a bit of a mixed bucket, right? It is very highly valued, but also the fundamentals are at least there that it could expand to meet those valuations. So, like for example, Palantir, I'm a lot more bearish on, but not so much NVIDIA. NVIDIA, it has some reasons to be where it is. Yeah, 925 per share. So it makes sense it's going to hover a little bit below that. Yeah, you could even have some sort of arbitrage play between 820 and 950. It's a buyout. Yeah, it's an acquisition. Yeah, they agreed to it. So yeah, the price should hover, or not 950, 925, sorry. Yeah, so it should go around 925. Honestly, it's a little bit close to that price right now. I wouldn't be surprised if you see it pull back a bit more. It's a little bit of a tight range. Yeah, Orient, there is news. It is a buyout. Yes. Seems like another low day. I mean, we'll see, right? Even though this was a buyout, so it's not really just pure momentum. It could at least create some FOMO, I suppose. This one really, yeah. I'm a little less optimistic seeing that it's just a pure buyout, because this generally doesn't have as much... Like, there's a difference between a stock going up 75% on momentum and going up 75% on just a buyout, right? I don't even think I would classify this as a momentum stock, realistically. I saw in the video once, or since everyone has it, the market can't make everyone win if the price goes higher, holding NVTS to gain a bigger profit if NVDA goes up. NVTS, what is that? Some sort of derivative of NVIDIA? Yeah, I mean, we'll see. Like, so if this is the only stock that's moving, it's not really... I don't know. This gave me some hope, but maybe my hope was misplaced here. Let's see. Give me 1 sec. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry, I just had to answer my door there. Okay. I don't think I missed anything much, though. Navitas, Semiconductor, NVIDIA bought lots of shares since they work together. Okay. Well, unfortunately, I don't know. I really don't. I don't have too much bullish sentiment now for momentum, now that I know this is a buyout. You missed so much. I know. I feel like I need a refresher. Like, there's just so much that happened here. I will go ahead and throw on some musico, because, yeah, it's not much to really look at the moment. I will create a filter too to make this music more in sync so that it stays the correct volume. Some of these tracks are a bit louder or quieter than others. Check NG and E has some movement. 19%. I mean, this, realistically, like, there's a bunch of problems with this, right? First of all, it's a bit higher priced. Second of all, you look at how much this has moved relative to the volume. There's just no volume. And third of all, this is a continuation play, right? This is mostly, for the most part, really gone sideways. I understand it's ranged several dollars, but for the speed and volume that it's moving, it's not really impressive. Yeah. Let's see, MRNO. No, it's just a penny stock. Yeah, so the two stocks we had run yesterday, was it ALBT? Was it that? I can't really remember. I think it was this one. Yeah. So a mixed bag with this one. Most of the action happened pre-market. Sold off, reclaimed, and now it's kind of trading at about 50% retracement. Certainly not dead, but not really that impressive either. I think it was HCTI was the other one. This one gave the whole thing back and then some. So we actually ended up closing lower than the previous day. Huh. So this genuinely was just a pump and dump. And it looks like right here there was an offering. 331. Yep. So this was the offering right here. I mean, even before the offering, this had fully retraced. So this was intended to be a pump and dump from the start. ENSC pulling away here. Again, it's a penny stock. It's got good volume. It is in a downtrend. It does have a history sometimes of making these bigger moves. Only 3 million shares allegedly. I wouldn't be surprised if it's more than that. There is quite some big orders on the level too. Do I know about Andrew? It might make its IPO sometime later this year. I do not. I typically don't mess with IPOs. They can have huge range that can be very easily manipulated, right? You've got a lot of locked up shares. I didn't know this, but apparently in some brokers you can short as early as day one. I thought that wasn't a thing, but apparently it is a thing. Some of the brokers known for shorting allow that, apparently. Dude, if I have no trades at all this week, that's gonna be crazy. I will still this weekend I will be making a monthly recap video. I don't even know really what I'm gonna say in it. Like, because I had all these no trade days, and because I was trying this new strategy, basically the second half of the month I was hardly trading in the cash account. All right, I had some of those bigger days that were, I had like a couple big winners at the start of the month, and I had some big losers at the start. I had some moderate winners towards the middle of the month, right? Then I had the income from the premium. But yeah, it's just, it'll be interesting to document. Like, I will make a recap for the month, even though there were a lot of caveats. I think it's worth doing still. Man, where is Vadim? He must have spiraled after that 1K loss. He was on a little hot streak for a while before taking that big loss. Haven't seen him since. You know what that means. Yeah. I'll take a look at it. I actually, yeah, now that you mention it, I haven't seen Vadim in quite some time. Like, I haven't been going out of my way to watch him, but I will usually check up on him, and I'm subscribed to him, so I didn't really see any uploads. What's his last upload? 3 weeks ago. So his last video was at the end of January, it looks like. Yeah, maybe, I don't know. I genuinely don't know. Yeah, his situation's weird, right? Because he had that big spiral event, and then he quit for like 3 weeks. But then he came back and he started doing recaps for all the days, and he was doing them in like batches of like 2 or 3. Then he finally caught up, and then, like you said, he had that $1,000 loss, and then he stopped again. Yeah, and it's been 3 weeks. I didn't realize it was that long. I kind of forgot about him, even though I'm subbed to him. Yeah, it's unfortunate. I saw that DJ, he was down like 1,300 and managed to size up and grind back to like down 600 or 500 on the day or something. So very interesting on that as well. Pre-market is really scary. I mean, it can be. There are some ways it's actually safer than market open, right? You don't have the halts to worry about. But yeah, it can... It's a double-edged sword, right? You think that the halts would make it less scary, but realistically, I think it's just as bad, if not a little worse, because you can't manage risk at all. Good morning, Skibon. But yeah, really unfortunate to see what happened to Vadim. I mean, I was rooting for him, but I think we all saw that he was sizing into losers. He was holding losers too long. We all saw it. Pre-market, not scary. Regular market hours is scary. Instant halt downs out of nowhere. Yeah, in both directions, right? You got the halt down, and then you got the gap down. You've got the halt up, and if you're short, you're probably terrified because the thing could open 10x higher if it's like a Chinese stock. So, like, regardless if you're long or short, small cap stocks with a light float can halt and gap in both directions very massively. I feel like it's harder to manage risk in market open. Certainly. Like, at least when you're long biased, you could only lose everything you had. But the fact that a stock could halt up at $5 and gap up to like 100, like that level of risk is just, you can't really manage it. It's insane. Market hours, wild, wild west. It really is, yeah. It really is. Yeah. it's weird. It almost feels like sometimes there's a switch that's flipped at market open, right? The price action that occurs, I've seen this many times. Maybe you guys can relate. I've seen it many times when the moment the market opens, all of a sudden, there's just a massive shift where the market's acting one way during pre-market, and then the very moment it opens, there's like a complete 180 in the way the market acts. Also, is my... No, wait. No, okay, never mind. I never trade market open. Halts and using the big players there too. I'm a little I'm too little for that world. On Thinkorswim especially, I don't know about other brokers, but I used to do it on Thinkorswim. And what I was finding was that Thinkorswim would just kind of glitch out, and you would place an order and you might have to wait like a minute for the fill if you placed it right at market open. It's kind of weird how that works. But yeah, that conditioned me. That was back when I was first trading. That conditioned me not to trade right at market open. So I just don't trade at market open now. I'll usually, as a general rule, I always wait at least 5 minutes. All right, 5 minutes after market open. And you could be a little more conservative if you wanted to, but I think at least 5 minutes. Yeah, BTOC, moving a bit here, but again, same problem. It's just a cheap stock. Yep, and I'm unable to short it because it's under $1. Okay, so we've seen this happen like almost every time. I don't think there's been an instance where the stock has been under $1 and I've been able to short it. So it just seems like it's a general rule that I can't short stocks under $1 here. I start trading around 9:45. Now that has been helping you. Yeah. Yeah, I say 9:35, 5 minutes after. And like I said, I understand that's kind of aggressive. You could honestly wait a little bit longer. I think I'm at like the earliest where you could start is 5 minutes after. 30 minutes later is good for me. But there comes a point too, right? The majority of the price action occurs in, we'll just say, the first hour of the market open. So like if you're skipping the entire first 30 minutes, I feel like at that point you're starting to just pass up most of the movement, right? I think there's a middle ground. Like I could argue that maybe 5 minutes is too little time, but I would also argue that 30 minutes might be a little too much time. I don't know what exactly the right figure would be, but I feel like it would be somewhere in the middle. Like Skivon's is, I still think Skivon is like maybe a little bit high, but I don't know. I'm probably nitpicking too much at that point. I feel like I feel a lot better now because I was really just hoping to find something to trade the last few days, and I've kind of accepted it going into today. Like today's Friday, it's been a really, really cold week. You even look at people like Ross, right? He had no trade days Monday, Tuesday. Wednesday, he took a trade he shouldn't have, and he made like $500 or something. And Thursday, he took a very, very dubious trade, and he made like $60. Like Ross making $500 and $60 or whatever, like that's, and I think Ross is actually net negative after fees and commissions too, so that's even a little misleading. But the fact that people like Ross is struggling, I've looked at a lot of the smaller traders too, and a lot of them, like it seems like it's just net negative across the board right now. Just engaging in this market doesn't seem very productive. So even though it feels wrong, and this is what I was getting at earlier, even though this is like the least I've traded in a long time. It does feel like it's the right call. I feel like I'm late entering on some days at 9:45, but it has saved me too. Yeah, and it's up to discretion too, right? And it's also wrong to just say that every single stock should have X amount of time before you start trading it, right? Certainly, if a stock seems more calm or more under control, then you could probably start to trade it earlier. But if a stock is just holding up and down like crazy, maybe you do gotta wait 30 minutes, you know? So like, it might be discretionary, and just saying across the board, X amount of time has to be waited, maybe a little bit overcommitting or overfitting. It is a bear market for now. By the way, which market do you like, bearish or bullish? So Jazar, I would actually disagree. I just want to make sure we're getting the terminology right here. To me, this is not a bearish market, right? I want to be really clear here. I think this is a cold market. There's a difference, right? In a cold market, nothing moves, right? We're just seeing nothing move. My strategy is short biased, and I'm not getting entries. And that's not because the market is bearish. That is just because the market is not moving at all. So I just want to make sure we're on the same page there with that. As far as bearish or bullish, I mean, if I'm running a bullish strategy, I want it to be bullish. If it's bearish, I want it to be bearish, right? Like my strategy up until this new one has always been bullish or long-sided. So I have always preferred a bullish market, right? Or not even just bullish, but rather I just prefer markets with volatility and momentum. I got lucky the other day with my scalp. Could have been wrecked. Sitting out now until momentum returns. I mean, I think that's a smart idea, right? I've seen some people that have gotten some wins, and I look at their entries. Like yesterday, we were looking at the stock that popped up and then entirely flushed in 1 minute. And someone said they made like 33 cents. I don't know if that was you. I can't remember. But there's still certainly opportunity, but the risk is much higher associated with that opportunity, right? Whether a stock rugs or if it pops, there is a higher chance that the move just fizzles out immediately in both directions. So I'm very hesitant to really try and capitalize on anything here. There's been no volume or liquidity on anything over $1. Liquidity is gone. Yep, Bobby's exactly correct. That is exactly the issue. Yeah. Shorts aren't winning in this environment either. Nobody is, exactly. Yep. Yeah, it's dangerous, Carl. Yeah, that was dangerous, Carl. Good win, though. Yeah. Stupid. Well, I mean, I don't want to call it stupid either, right? Like, it was ambitious. Maybe the risk was understated. I wouldn't call it stupid. Like, in the moment, we can make uneducated decisions, but that doesn't mean we're stupid, right? But yeah, I've kind of just grown to accept it. Like, I was really hoping to give more exposure to my new strategy. I'm just going to have to wait with it. Right? There was one trade I could have taken yesterday. It was borderline passing my criteria. If I would have taken it and I would have followed my rules, I would have made 5 cents on the trade. I mean, like, is that even worth engaging with? You know, it's when you start considering edge cases, or maybe where not all your criteria are aligning, that's when you start getting into trouble. And maybe with that one stock that just popped up immediately, maybe you were starting to make too many exceptions. And I think that's a part of it too. Is like we're so antsy to get in a trade that we start making exceptions to the rule. But I did tiny size to compensate. Well, I mean, that's good, right? I certainly respect sizing down in this market. Yeah. CDIO. I mean, it could curl back. Like, this is still, the fact that it's holding up here, like, This might look like it's given back a good bit, but considering how slow this is grinded, this is actually still holding up quite well. Yeah, CDIO, for anyone who's going to be trading market open, definitely want to keep an eye on CDIO. You think that was a short squeeze last night? Honestly, maybe. Right, there's no news on the hour for this. Let me check. Even able to, I might not even be able to short this. Oh, I'm actually able to, wow. Okay, so 277% borrow fee. That's pretty high. I mean, it could, yeah, I mean, there's a rational, because this is kind of what a short squeeze looks like, right? It's usually very quick. And the fact that this has been grinding up tells me that maybe if anybody's been shorting this, they've been getting under more and more pressure. Yeah, this reads to me like an actual short squeeze, right? A short squeeze typically has shorts that keep getting in and the price just doesn't correct so they can profit. Right, this reads to me as people probably shorted here, maybe added here, maybe added here, and they finally just got stopped out. Yeah. It's hanging right now around VWAP. Yeah, this is certainly one to watch. This does feel like a short squeeze, because I think short squeezes are typically very violent, too. Now, the fact that this is held up the way it has is actually very important. For example, if this would spike up and then immediately drop all the way back down, then I would actually switch and say this wasn't a short squeeze, this was a pump and dump. But because of the fact that this is held up so well to this point, this reads much more like a short squeeze to me. I see, thanks for clearing it up. Still new to trading, really appreciate it. No problem, man. Right? We're all learning at the end of the day, regardless of skill or experience. Yeah, there's just nothing really to trade from this one. We're at the half hour, so we'll see if we get anything new. I'm not holding my breath. So yeah, really, other than this, we had nothing at the top of the hour. At 7. So I was definitely overly optimistic. I would predict that CDIO, let me pull it up. I would predict that CDIO drops at open to 550-ish, then back up to 7-8 end of day if it can hold. I mean, yeah, so you're talking, I'm guessing you're talking this. Yeah, so drops at open, tests this level. If this level holds, bounces back up. I mean, it makes sense, right? We've seen this stair-stepping pattern, right? Even here, right? It kind of grinded up, market open, it flushed, it actually held at this level, and that's what ended up making it grind. So yeah, it's already shown this pattern once. What I would say is if the shorts are covered and are out, and they might be, because the fact that I'm able to actually short this stock, despite it being so extended over multiple days, tells me that the inventory, like the inventory should have been empty, right? Considering how far into the squeeze this was, and considering that Webull typically doesn't have that good of inventory. The fact I'm able to locate shares after this much of a squeeze tells me either there's a massive amount of shares available or someone covered recently. Coin flip with CDIO going into the open and not touching it. Yeah, it kind of feels like a coin flip. It certainly does feel overextended, right? The fact it went to 10 and it was at $1, like, realistically, we're 10x up. The odds that it holds are very low over a long period. But it seems like the float's low. If you get a huge short squeeze, you could have something like SMX, right? And this is why you can't always just short something just because it looks impressive in the short term. Or you get something like SMX where it goes like from $1. Is this like a reverse split? Okay, no, wait. I think this is a reverse. Is this a reverse split? Did it actually? Wait, no, that can't be right. Okay, no, there was a reverse split. Yeah, this didn't go to 2,400. It went to like 500 or something. But still, I mean, even just looking at it at the pure number, like let's assume like it was at 15. For it to go from 15 to 2,400 in a week, anybody who's short here would get destroyed. And you might think that, yeah, just shorting, like realistically, CDIO could be like here right now, right? It's like you're up like 10x. You think there's no way it's going higher. And then all of a sudden it 10x's again. So that's always the risk with shorting. You might think that it's already gone up. Like, I mean, it went up to $10. So you're like, oh, it's already gone up 10x. It can't keep going up. It's so overextended. But that's how shorts get destroyed, right? Man, can't trade NCS on Webull. What's with these new restrictions? I think it's just anything under $1 you can't short. I don't know about long biased. Like right now, there's not even a short button enabled. There hasn't been a short button enabled for stocks under $1 that I've seen this entire time I've been trying this. But let me take a look here. So let me just put an order. I'll do like 10 shares. We'll do it at like 45 cents. I'm assuming, oh no, I'll have to do 100 because it won't let me do under 100. Yes, it can only be liquidated. I still need to call up Webull about that. I said I was going to and I forgot. My apologies. But yeah, I'll go ahead and call up Webull if I remember today. And see if I can get more information on any policies they've changed. Because I've heard people saying this. Ross actually mentioned it yesterday that Webull was starting to restrict stocks too. So I'm kind of glad I'm opening up Thinkorswim account so that I can like diversify this strategy. But it is strange that Thinkorswim did it and now Webull is trying to do it too. Very strange. Like, I feel like something else is going on behind the scenes that they're doing this. There have been a few stocks where no trades were allowed on Webull. It seems the only ones that are like across the board are reverse split stocks that have just recently happened, that have been restricted, and I totally get that. I've seen it happen a few times, inconsistently, with stocks under $1. Like, what was it? Goss let me buy it, but I had to buy 100 shares minimum. And like, this one's just not letting me. It's liquidation only. So it's very... There seems to be something going on. Flat top on CDIO for the break of 7 setup. So risky though, it's curling through VWAP again. It does feel like it's starting to curl. But I don't know. It feels so early to really call anything here. I know it's a noob question, but can you explain the terminology of the shortable pop out on Webull in main? Requirement and estimate. I can give you a general breakdown. Maybe I'll do CDIO since we know that one's shortable right now. And this is just my understanding. I did call up Weeble, so my understanding isn't perfect, but it's just based off of what I understand. And I'm not someone who is super familiar with short selling, so if I'm incorrect, I can be corrected. But so of course you can go long, you can sell your position, or you can short, right? Short is entering first, covering later. That's just basic terminology. I'm assuming you know that. But the thing is you cannot just short out of the blue. The thing is that you can only short a stock, or you're supposed to only be able to short a stock if you can locate the shares, which means that you need to have somebody who's willing to give you the shares to short to take a position. And what happens is brokers will collect an inventory of these shares that they are allowed to lend out to people to use. And there are rates assigned to that based off of how much inventory is available, the volatility of the stock. There's a bunch of different factors that go into it. I'm not exactly sure of how that rate is calculated, but it is a combination of all those things. And I don't even know if you can set the rates or not, but yeah, so I'll pull it up here. I'm actually not able, wow, I'm not able to short it anymore. I was able to short it here, but now I'm not, there's no inventory. Like, so yeah. You can even see here, there are insufficient shares of the stock right now to borrow. Please reduce, let me try one share. Let's see if I can at least get one. No, I can't, yeah, so there's not even any shares left now. So when the price dropped down, there was inventory available here. Now there's not. So it just shows how little inventory there is. But let me do a different one. I think AMC probably would let me. It's a cheaper stock. All right, so AMC has a huge float. So the borrow rate's going to be super, super low. And this is essentially just dividing what the borrow fee is by 365 days, and this is for holding overnight. So you would get charged 1.36% interest every day you held. Or no, this is yearly, right? I think this is yearly. So you would get charged 1/365th of this per day. Which is really why CDIO, I can't show it now, but it was 200%, which means that if you shorted one share at 683 and the bar fee was 200%, in 2 years, or in 1 year, you would owe $13.60, because you would owe 200% of the price. Now, it's my understanding that the borrow fee fluctuates on a daily basis and that it is a variable borrow rate. And maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that if you would enter a short position here, 200% borrow rate, let's say the stock crashes down and it goes back to like $3 and the borrow fee, like everyone returns their shares they've covered. I believe that now your borrow fee goes down. That's my understanding. Stock restrictions could be brokers testing dynamic risk management rules that need to be introduced as part of the PDT change. It could be. Can you take a look at GNPX? Sure. Not doing anything else right now. Also, just want to point out, no news at the half hour. So we only had costs at the top of the hour, or MLX popping up here. Okay, so getting some volume here. It's not a lot, but my scanner did flag it, so I just want to call it out in case it does do something. Back to what you were saying though, GNPX. Oh, so this one had a big move like a couple months ago. I don't actually remember this one. This was like way at the end of October. And I mean, it's just kind of flatlined since then. Yeah, very heavy pressure on it. I can check the... One sec. Just checking the registrations. Yeah, so after... I don't know how well you can see this, but the prospectus and registrations, after that big spike back in October, they filed a lot of prospectuses. So they basically said, hey, we're going to dilute the crap out of this. And that's essentially what they did, right? If you go back to the yearly. After this spike up, there were several instances of shelf registrations, and the price just kind of crashed. I would say this is probably deep underwater. Core pushing back to 9. Man, I gotta like zoom in. This thing is like... Okay, can I just get a zoom? I just want to see this. Yeah, I mean, it's just kind of grinding up. The lowest it went was 880. Yeah, I mean, it's just going to continue grinding towards 925. On Webull, it's annual. Yeah, okay. Or, wait, you're saying that... Yeah, okay, yeah. That makes sense. Yep. Yeah, so if you try to short something, this is the annual fee. And then you would divide this by 365, because you would get charged that % per day. Yes. Okay. So I did have it right. I have Webull, and I can trade ENC-SC. I don't think I was able to. Hold on, I'll go back to it. Maybe they changed it? I'll just do like 40 cents. Yeah, I can't trade this stock either. So Khan, can you just double check, make sure that it's actually ENSC that you're able to trade? Because I can't even place an order. And it's not letting me short it either. But yeah, I can't even place a buy order for it. HCTI, recent reverse splits, guys. Super low float. Has news. Might keep it on watch later. NDRA was similar setup yesterday and popped up at the open. Yeah, I saw NDRA. I ended up actually taking a couple trades on it during market open during this for one of my day strategies. I was able to capitalize a little bit on it. Wasn't actually expecting it. But yeah, this one has news. It's a super, super low float. It did actually give the whole thing back, which kind of sucks, but super low float, so definitely worth keeping an eye on this one. Yeah, core sold to Searchlight for 925 per. Yep. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm saying. It's just going to grind towards 925. It's basically done. Unfortunately. Did we see we have 50 people here, which is a huge amount of people. Welcome, everybody. If you're new to the stream or you haven't already, please consider hitting that like button. It does help me out, and I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, After. But yeah, I've kind of just accepted that this is just a slower day. It's so sad. Just found this stream? Awesome, so it seems like I'm at least getting out to more people. That's cool. Even Flip-Flop's here. Oh man, now we need to see a stock pop so you can short it to the ground. Spam the like for the cap, guys. Smash it. Smash. ENSC, I get a message saying the stock can only be liquidated when trying to buy long. Yeah, that's what's happening to me, right? So, yeah. Yeah, for me, like, I don't have the short button. When I try to enter a buy order, the security can only be liquidated. Yeah. Yeah, I gotta call them about that. That's... If there's some sort of change they made, I would like to at least be aware of it. How long have I been trading? For about 7 years. We're getting closer to 8 years, actually. As far as day trading, though, because I don't want to overstate my experience, as far as actual day trading goes, it's only been about 3 years. Right? Like, at least for what I claim to be marginally profitable. But that's with my old system. I'm trying a new system right now that hopefully will have better results. But unfortunately, it's just been a cold market and I haven't been getting a lot of experience. Like with this current account I have, this is a $2,100 account. I'm testing a new strategy with only 1 share per trade. And I've managed to make 97 cents. Right, so I've made 97 cents of profit per share. When is the anniversary? We're coming up on it in, I think it's like end of March, early April. So we're coming up on 8 years. I'm going to have to start saying 8 instead of 7 and 4 instead of 3 for day trading. I'm getting old. I can't wait till I get to that 10. Yeah, I've been trading for 10 years, man. 10 years. Just to grind those pennies. I don't know. I feel like there comes a point where I start to question the level of the experience too. Because initially when I first got into day trading, I only looked at how long someone traded. And I'm like, okay, that determines their skill. But really, a lot of it too is how much time was actually put into active development and high quality training. Right? Because if you smash your head against a wall for 3 years, that doesn't really... I mean, there's nothing to really bring from that, right? It's good experience. It's experience, but it's not good experience. So, like my first year trading, I was not smashing my head against a wall, but I was not really using the right methodology or the right kind of mindset to learn to trade. So my first year really wasn't that productive. I just lost a lot of money. Lost like $4,000. And it's really nothing, huh? I wonder if I should like keep checking in on CDIO, because I was able to, somewhere in this range, I don't remember exactly where, but somewhere around here I was able to short it. So I might just ping it every now and then to see if I'm ever able to short this again. The music got sad the moment I said 4K loss. Yeah. Maybe it was by design. Maybe it was intentional. Fifth year here, was down 15K for my career. Made 10K last year. Still down about 4.5K for my career. Got a chance to be break-even trader this year. I'm so excited. It'll be a grind, man. Yeah. Yeah, I'm actually, even though it's only been 3 years, I'm actually net profitable as a trader, even after the drawdown, right? I've already explained this once, so I'll keep it brief. But during my like second year going into the third, I really crossed that threshold, and I was sizing up very aggressively, like I was taking 1,000 share position size. So very aggressive, and I made over $10,000 gross up until my capitulation day. So I managed to actually fully recover the loss, and that really changed my perspective. Like, because knowing that you committed a year and you were down 4,000, like, it's right. You've wasted, in your head, you think you've wasted your time, you've wasted your money. Like, it's a very bad feeling. And I feel like that's like probably the bottom, the worst state I had been. I started trading in 2006, so this is the big 20 year for you. Yeah. Yeah, Flip Flop is a veteran in this space for sure. Music is perfect. Perfect volume, yeah. I need to make a filter that will automatically change it. I'm just monitoring it right now because a lot of these songs are different volumes. I kind of know where it roughly needs to be, but that's something I need to create a filter so I don't have to manually do that. Yeah, Flip Flop veteran status. Yeah, everyone's looking at Flip Flop and they're like, dang, we got a veteran here. Someone who saw the market crash in 08. I messaged Webull about restriction. Restrictions come from our clearing firm as part of the changes to the risk management process. These are temporary restrictions are put in place to protect you. Very interesting, though, that they would choose to do it now, right? Because you think about it, Thinkorswim did it recently, and now Webull is doing it in a very similar time frame, right? That doesn't strike me as them caring about you. That strikes me as a pattern of someone higher up changing the structure. And maybe it's because of the new PDD changes, I don't know, right? It's hard to say. I would argue they're not doing it because they care about you. There's probably, if it was only one broker, I could see it. Like if it was only Thinkorswim, but the fact that we now have two brokers that are doing it, like one dot is just a point, but two dots make a line, you know? So I'm a little bit more skeptical that Webull is doing it too. If you haven't ever heard of Ross Cameron, he helped me out with a lot of his trading strategy. Yeah, I think Ross gives a lot of really good advice. I think he's really good at communicating information. I'm a big fan of him, even though it might not seem like it. I don't really support his product. I think it's overpriced and doesn't deliver. But as far as his free content goes and just his way to communicate, I think he's really good at what he does. In 2008, I was in high school chasing girls and Flip Flop was making money. Yeah, Bobby, what are you doing? You should have been buying a house in 2008. What are you doing playing on the playground? How dare you? You should have been buying a house. I don't buy any of his products, just free content, and also agree overpriced. And I mean, this is I bought the product, so like I feel I at least have some grounds to at least express my opinions on it, right? Because I have taken it. I know, Cap. Yeah. See, doesn't this music feel very fitting for this market? When there's nothing happening, this feels appropriate. It does. We're just kind of chilling. We're waiting for something to come up. We're not really forcing it. I was too young? Yeah. All right. I might need to put like a fourth monitor up here just because managing this, like I feel I'm even with my current setup, I feel like I'm a little clustered with only 3 monitors. Perfect music and volume, thanks. Yeah. I'll decline to comment. Okay. Okay, no thanks. No thanks has strong opinions. He is in the no music category. Respectfully. Yeah, we're coming up on the top of the hour here. Fingers crossed for news, right? Fingers crossed, but I'm not holding my breath. If we get something, we get something. Yeah, I see that derpy face. No thanks. I see that. I see you. I'll give a quick shout out here. While we have some people, we have some downtime. I do have a Discord server. I'll go ahead and link it in chat here if you guys are interested. It's subtle, not overbearing and annoying. Why stop at 4? Why not make it 5 or 6? Think of it as an investment. I actually have, so my stand actually supports up to 6 monitors. Maybe I could take a picture, show it. But yeah, I have a stand and I can use 6 monitors. I just, I only have 3 in right now. I joined the Discord, woo? All right, well, welcome, sir. It is not the most active right now. I will give forewarning, right? I mean, we generally only talk after the stream for a little bit, and maybe I'll share my results, but especially lately with how cold it's been, just haven't really been engaging much in this market. But I do get on every day. I feel like we're all stuck in an elevator listening to music, not complaining. Yeah. We're waiting to get to the destination, which is a warmer market. We're trying to go up from this cold, cold abyss. It's just taking a while. All right, top of the hour. Fingers crossed. Let's see if we get anything here. Looking at the gap scanner. The nice thing is at least the gap scanner updates in real time on Thinkorswim, so I can actually see stuff as it's moving. And that's like, that's my only real lead if I'm going to catch it before Zendu or my momentum scanners pick it up. I basically have to catch it on the gap scanner. Just joined in it too? Oh, well, welcome, sir. Thank you guys for joining. Also, the server's rather primitive. If you guys have anything you'd like added to it, just let me know and I'll probably do it unless it's like something ridiculous. No NS, what is it? Not safe for work. None of that. We're not doing gain loss porn. Yeah, it doesn't look like anything's popping up that I can see, at least. Everyone is using Thinkorswim or Weeble, but only I use Moomoo. Don't even know about scanners and stuff. Yeah, what's Moomoo like? Is it like any good? I've heard of it. It's I totally forgot about it because like I've heard of it a couple times and that's it, and it just kind of dropped off the radar. I'm gonna tell you this: have you guys heard of Tasty Trade? I'll put a poll. CTI grinding higher. It's holding up. I think this one sold off hard though. Yeah. I mean, this looks to me like it was just a pump and dump. Actually, no. Be careful, guys. There was an offering yesterday here. What was it at? 581. So just be aware there is a ceiling here at 581 if it does get to that where you have the secondary offering. So just be aware of that. The upside is probably capped. It's good and has access to the Japanese market. I usually trade there, and compared to the American market, it's quite slow. Let's see. Yeah, a lot of Japanese stocks I found are very underutilized. Actually, some of my swing trades that I do in my main account are actually for Japanese stocks, because what I have found from my investigations is that Japanese stocks tend to be mispriced quite a lot. And that's because there's not a lot of coverage on them. So yeah, that actually is one market that I focus on a lot. And maybe I'm just biased, but I don't really see Japanese stocks rug pull a lot. Right? They have that honor. Yeah, but I'm not seeing anything really moving with much sustenance here. I've used Mumo. I have enjoyed it a lot so far. Okay, we actually got something here. MRM. Let's see. Okay, partnership with Tools for Humanity. Projects approximately 39 million in income before taxes over 2 years. The stock has been mostly sideways to uptrending. Let me check the locate fees. Only 18%, so there's a lot of shares available. This has a history of making big moves. It's also in an uptrend overall. This looks like this could hold up. You're getting some volume. I mean, this could turn into something. I think it meets enough to where I could consider it. Good volume. me check the registrations. Okay, they did have a registration back in September. So here. Okay, so they did have a registration there. How bad was it? Okay, $50 million. I think I'm willing to give it a try here. I'll position for it. Alright, we are postured now, if this does end up running. This has some things going in the favor. We'll see if this actually runs or not. Yeah, flip-flop, my first order is at 196. So it looks like we'd be starting at a similar spot. All right, let's see what we get here. Come on, push, 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 push. No, don't roll, please. Please, I need this trade. I haven't traded in 4 days. Please. What was the high? High was 190, so I was 6 cents off of a fill. All right, heading out to open. Good luck, everyone. You have a good one, Skivan. No! Time for the rug pull? Maybe. This has had a shelf registration here, which caused the crash. So the odds that it has another pump, considering it had a dilution effect, is lower. Right, if you're going to see a spike back up, it's less likely to resolve. Grabbed MRM, made 30 cents a share. 30 cents, wow. Considering this stock only moved 40 cents, you basically captured the whole move. Impressive. What did you do, like 160 to 190? I'm in ENSC, but down right now. Gonna hold for a profit. If I lose, I'll make it all back at poker night tomorrow night. I mean, fair enough. Fair enough. Poker, huh? Yeah, I always thought that poker wasn't really worth getting involved because you have the spread, which is the which is like the payment you give to the dealer, right? Because don't you have to pay the dealer every hand or something? 152 to 1, really 152. So you basically bought right at breakout to 183. Fair enough. That was a good little pull, so now I'm just moving my first short to 210. Guess we'll see if it gets a squeeze. Yeah, I mean, my initial entry, what did I say, 196? So I was 6 cents off. Yeah, I should probably adjust my first order too here. Okay. Only at a casino. Home games. Oh, okay, so you're just doing a home game. Fair enough. Right, right. I didn't know you were doing like just a group gathering thing. Wait, isn't that illegal? All right, well, we got a nice spike here in volume. This could actually see some resolution. I might be starting to taste the pain here soon. I say taste the pain. I'm not even in a position yet, but we will see. This is looking like it could resolve nicely. Even on this pullback, this volume is lower. Well, this one was kind of high. At least this is doing something. Yeah, 500,000 volume. It's quite high volume. Looking at the level 2, it's pretty thick. It is quite a thick spread. How long do I stream for? Till 9 o'clock. I will sometimes stay over, though. I don't stream up and no. I do not. That's when I do my actual main income strategy. This is more of a side hustle. Yeah, it's when I lock in. Yeah. All right, we might get a breakout. This is showing some significant strength here. This might actually resolve into something that gets me in a trade. Yeah, all right. Yeah. All right, just kind of holding here. I'm almost expecting a big pop, if I'm being honest. Do this one. See if we get something. Let's see. No, dude. No. Yeah, the volume's decent. It has relatively recent headwinds from dilution, but the overall trend has been up even after this dilution period. Let's go to 3 years. So 3 years tells a bit more of a downtrend story. So we had like a 1 year uptrend, but we're in a downtrend overall. Xwell and BATL are moving. You're right about BATL. Wow. I didn't even... Yeah, BATL didn't come up on my scanners for me. Yeah, this one actually did pop up. This one has a ways to go to get to my levels. Should keep BATL on watch, though. It's close. Unfortunately, MRM looks like it might be backside. Dude, I was literally 6 cents, 7 cents from an entry. No, 6 cents. I was 6 cents from an entry here. The NSC flushed on me, had to bail, lost 25. That's just the life of a slow market. Yeah. I mean, it's a penny stock too, so I feel like you're almost playing with fire, messing with penny stocks. Xwell continuing to get some traction, got some actual volume. Took 2 trades on MRM. 1 green, 1 red. I'm now break even. Amazing. No news on this move. It's a... Okay, I guess we're just looking at a continuation play then. Yeah, MRM still holding, but it's on its back legs right now. And it might just be done. 6 cents from an entry. 6 cents from the top. Yeah, BATL still continuing to run pretty hard here. Able to get shorts for this. Oh. No, this one doesn't meet my short criteria. I can't touch this one. It's too dangerous. Alright, I'm canceling my MRM positions. I was 6 cents from an entry on the top here, but just didn't give it to me. Didn't want to overextend. Notably, if I did try to take a position on BATL, my first order was going to be at 588, so I would actually be in if I would have taken one here. My concern is that this has shown it can move extremely violently in the past. MRM in at 170. Hope Hopefully got out at 157. Oh, you sure? Well, good luck, sir. BATL is volatile. Very volatile, yeah. Huge volume, too. Alright, and daily has shown that it can make a massive move, right? What is this? 130 up to $7 in one day. Why still shorting? So boring. So boring, huh? Fair enough. It goes up and down quick, but hovers above 4. Made a few trades on it. BATL beast. Yeah, no, this is very impressive. Check Xwell as well here. BATL, AGIG, INDO, RB, and ETPET are on your radar for watching. Okay. It's quite a list. This is good though. Honestly, this is way more activity than I was expecting for Friday. The fact we're actually seeing some stocks move is reassuring. Or I'm still kind of curling here. Okay, so BATL looks like it might be failing. So if I would have got in at 588, in hindsight, it looks like it would have been a beautiful trade. Found some crazy ones earlier this week. Yeah. Wow. What a rug pull, too. Look at this volume on this flush. Still an impressive move, right? This one up around 40% or so, almost 50%. I'm out on BATL when it went close to 650, its resistance. Well, seems like you made a good choice. Made 50 bucks on BATL. Let's go, baby. Let's go. Yeah, I was close to taking BATL, but this one, the way it's held up and the fact that it's made this big move here and it's been consolidating higher, I was really getting concerned about a huge move. We're talking like an $8, $10 move. think that was on the table. You have 400 shares on it. It's quite a large size. Went for a coffee and missed BATL. Yeah. I feel that. Up, down, up, down. All right, well, we're 1 minute from the half hour. Considering we've just had all of these spikes, if we have news at the half hour, I really wouldn't be surprised if we see people jump on it. This is actually some momentum, so this might actually convert to something. Yeah, flip-flop, did you short BATL? I was seriously considering it at 588 here. Mr. Captain, what are you paying a month for Wibble Premium? It's $0. I paid it up front for the yearly fee, $40. All right, last month I made $70 gross, or something like that. I could be misspeaking, but I believe I made about $70 gross after the fees from the level 2 before I got that with Weeble Premium. That was like $10, and then I got the Weeble Premium for $40, so I made like $30 or something like that, or net profit. Gotcha, thank you. Yep. And new support became 5. Yeah, this is looking like it's acting like support, but I'm very... Man, the fact that this thing flushed so hard on high volume, this just looks like a rug pull. No trades for you so far. Didn't touch BATL because it felt like it had too much movement in the past. Yeah, exactly. That's why I skipped it too. Right? You look at the yearly, there's a couple things. First of all, look at how well this is consolidated. This isn't really trending down. Second of all, this has already shown it can go from $1 to almost like $7. And we've actually been trending higher. I was really concerned about a push up to like $8 or $10 here. That's why I ultimately chose not to go for it. And it would have worked, right? If I would have got in here, my order was at 588. It would have been a nice trade. But that's hindsight, I suppose. It's just a momentum trade. It's over today, I think. Yeah. Lots of red volume. Yeah, the fact that there was such huge volume on this candle, like that looks so bearish to me. Yeah, it's finished now. Nice little bounce here, 465. You got about a 20-cent bounce. Still very high volume though, so iffy. Xwell is moving, but it's also like BATL, too much movement the past few days. Yeah. I really don't like shorting continuations unless they're very extended from where they should be. I get what I can get, and it's not a throw, not throw a fit. Thanks, BATL. Until next time. Yeah. Go ahead and throw out a poll here. I actually forgot the Tasty Trade poll was still up. Okay. I think Gem. That's a Chinese stock, right? I believe. Wow, 15. Oh my god, this thing rugged super hard. I'm pretty sure this is a Chinese stock too. Yeah, this is a Chinese stock. And it's only 15 cents. I'm not interested. Not interested. Yeah, look at the 90-day chart on BATL for pops. Yeah, no, this thing has a history, especially recently, but like it's also popped a little bit in the past. TVA Jeepers, $1 spread. TVA. Yeah, I mean that's like a 75-cent spread for me. 1056 by 1125. Super low volume. It does have news. Very weird. MDE did end up failing, it looks like. Okay, so yeah, I'm definitely in the minority now. And I'm not surprised. We've had some movers today. It just did not meet what I was looking for. I think Ross lost on BATL. Impossible. It is impossible for Ross to lose. Well, if he did lose, I guess he had to have bought here. Right, because the stock just went straight down. I mean, you had one opportunity for a bounce here, I guess. I'm still kicking myself over MRM. The fact that I was so close to an entry. Ross has had a few red days the last 2 weeks. Yeah. And not only that, but he's had a lot of no trade days and he's had a lot of small green. Yeah, Ross has been actually kind of struggling this month. That really just shows the state of the market at the moment. And you could argue I'm being overly cautious, right? I'm being super selective. Xwell continuing to grind higher. Similar problem though. This thing is just like, it's made big moves recently. Being selective is great, though. I know, but it feels bad when I'm being overly selective. And that's like the big thing I'm trying to like wrestle with myself is, am I being too conservative? Because this would be 5 no trade days in a row. And like this is unheard of for me. There's a book called Smart Broke, Dumb Rich. I like. Smart Broke, Dumb Rich. How smart people lose out because we overthink. Did I trade BATL? I did not, but I was on the fence with it. Right. My system, if I would have executed it, my system called for shorting at 588. So I would have entered short here. Mouses. I did not short it though. I was too afraid of how the stock had moved aggressively in the last few days, or last few weeks. Xwell, maybe backside? Good green on it. No, not to say thinking is bad, of course, right? I understand, right? Yeah. Totally get that. Dang, would have made $1 share on that flush cap if I entered short. I would have. And I can clarify too. If I would have entered, I can tell you where my target profit would have been too. So 588. I would actually still be in the trade right now. Yeah, Bobby, I actually wouldn't be in profit. I would still be unrealized. My strategy doesn't call for an exit right now. So I would be holding currently. Yeah, I called it out at 588. That's where I would have entered if I did. And currently I'd actually still be holding. MRM, very weird move. So this kind of just spiked into a rug. On the bright side, my order wouldn't have got hit, even with this spike. Imagine that, like, I canceled my order because it was trending down, then it spikes up to my order and then drops this hard. That would have been a slap in the face. Because I ended up canceling the MRM orders. Bobby, did you join the Discord? Did you join, Bobby? Xwell continuing to bleed here. This does look kind of top heavy. You look at the volume on the move up. And then you look at the volume on the move down. The volume's much higher on the move down. I have to sign up for Discord. I don't have an account. Fair enough. It can be hard for me to keep track of who's all signed up too. I'll do it this weekend. Oh, I mean, I appreciate it. You don't have to do it if you don't want to, you know? Is Discord $10? No, the Discord is free. Yes, I have no plans to charge for the Discord. Also, if you want my spreadsheets, you can find them there. So like any spreadsheet that I have like this, you can find on my Discord server. I have them all for free. Market should start to move again when Warsh steps into the building. Who is Warsh? Am I walking into a joke? Why'd stream on Discord? I don't plan on. No. We got Bobby in the chat. He's joining the Discord. Gonna post all his wins. His big old wins. So it looks like, well, I was gonna say I'm in the minority, but like, considering 29% are red, I'm still about like in the top 60% by taking no trades. And remember folks, I gotta say it every day that I don't trade in this account, I get that passive income from Webull Premium. So I am getting paid to do nothing, which is a nice feature. TMDE breaking out. Okay. All right, let me check. Locates 102%. Let me get on this quick then. No news on it, yeah. All right, we got orders for TMDE if this one wants to pop. Have you ever heard of a guy named Stockcatcher? He streams open. I have heard of them. I have his $8 YouTube stream thing, and it's better than anything Ross makes you spend your whole account on. Kind of like having a scanner without paying. Is that legal? I'm not actually sure if they're allowed to do that. I mean, it's one thing to show scanners, but like if they're showing level 2 and market data, that starts to get into unclear territory. I do want to check in on this every few minutes to see what the shorts look like. So still only 102% for now. He is legal. Had to go through loops, calling Weeble and charting company. Yeah, and I think there is a way you could do it legally. Like you can't do it public, but you can like do it private and pay to stream it. So yeah, if he's doing the right channels, I think that is legal. I'm just saying that he would have to go through those hoops. And it sounds like if he's had to go through that, then yeah, he's probably legit. Yeah. Well, that's good to hear that. I like Ross, but the stuff he's selling is just too expensive. I just use his scanner. I do love the scanner. Oh, the scanner seems nice. I don't know if it's worth... What is it, the 200 a month? It's like 197 or something. Considering I'm able to get relatively similar scans for free, it doesn't seem like a great value. The companies have to say it's okay for you to stream it. They did make him take it down for one day a few weeks ago. He was on Stock Twits for a long time and just started YouTube. Let's see. Okay, so my first short here is at around 129. I mean, I was really hoping this would start to pull away with this volume inflow. We'll see. But like, I don't know, man. I don't know. ONMD is moving quite a lot. Yeah. All right, let's see what shorts look like for this. Okay. Cannot actually short it because it's not over $1, but it will be shortly. It does have news. Palantir links with ONMD might be good. Yeah, I'm iffy on if I should short this. And I can't even unless it gets over $1. Like we're about to go over $1. Might be worth giving it a try. I will set up for it if it's over $1 here. Let's see. Only 9% borrow fee. I'm going to cancel the TMDEs. This TMDE just kind of rolled over. It was at 110, but it's just kind of rolled over. Don't do it, Cap. The other two setups were better. Don't do it. We're coming up on the top of the hour here, too. Yeah, it's tempting to want to do this one. It's very clear that this sells off hard. Very high shares outstanding, too. But it is under $1. It makes it a bit more iffy. And we've seen dollar stocks run quite a lot lately. The thing is, though, it says next phase of the commercial launch with Palantir. That signals that wording suggests that it's already known they were partnered with Palantir. So that means it would be already priced in. Place an order when it's still not at $1 yet. Well, it not let me. Yeah. So if the price is actually below $1, that becomes problematic because I have to wait for it to get over $1 to place the order. It's a little bit frustrating. Look at filings. They had some back in September, also in November. So right before this major breakout and after. They did a second one. Up to 28 million shares. If this news is already known too. Now this looks ideal for me. AEHL bought 1 million Bitcoin. What the heck? It's through a third party that they're doing. Someone's basically giving the company money to buy for them. That's typically how it goes. Yeah, they didn't directly buy it. Half these companies wouldn't even be able to afford it. All right, 2 minutes till the top of the hour here. Seems like not the brightest decision. It's weird. I would actually argue the opposite, John. I mean, you're buying at the lows for Bitcoin, right? If anything, I'd say that's the brightest decision you could make. It's really struggling at $1. Yeah, that would be like 5% of the supply. Yeah, something like that. I was going to say it'd be less, but you're right. A lot of the Bitcoin has become unusable or lost. So yeah, you're actually probably right. It's probably closer to 5%. Yeah, so far today, I've attempted 2 trades. MRM got very close to the first fill. I was only 6 cents off. TMDE, I was like 20 cents off. So and that was a $1 stock. So I was pretty far on TMDE. Almost got MRM. Even not getting a trade, but almost getting the trade is information. So it is still helpful to see these results. If the market was hotter, I'd actually be able to get my fills more consistently. I can see it dropping another 40 to 50% from where it is now. Certainly, yeah. Yeah, I think it goes to 45,000. I think it goes somewhere around there. But yeah, we're top of the hour here. Unfortunately, still no trades for me at the moment. I'll stay around 5 minutes, see if we get anything else in play worth looking at. Ross lost and BATL 6,000. Yeah, Ross is... I mean, think about it. I'm flat on the week, and Ross is down like $5,000 or whatever. I think he's down maybe closer to 6,000 actually. But like, this has been a very, very difficult week for a lot of people. So, and like Ross, I kind of use Ross as the temperature gauge. And if Ross is struggling despite his enormous edge, to me, that signals that I'm doing the absolute correct thing, even though it looks very boring. I made money on a stock Ross lost on. I can't believe it. Bobby, you're better than Ross. You did it. You did it, man. I'm better than Ross. Look at me. I'm at 0 on the day. I'm doing way better than Ross. I'm able to identify Ross in trades. You can see him enter. Then there's this huge, them with his huge positions. Yeah. Yeah, I can. Not always, but sometimes you can tell, right? There's like a blip, and you just know it's where he bought. Yeah. Certainly. Yes, sir, you're a good job. LBGJ. Yeah, right as you said it, it came up for me. Yeah, Chinese care. Yep. Red flag here too. This is a grinder. This has been showing a significant uptrend. Very dangerous, especially because it's Chinese. This is one of my main indicators to not short, so I will not short this. It does have news. It acquires majority stake in Zhuhu Yufengyan Food Distribution, accelerating expansion into high-margin catering services. So it at least has news on it. It's getting good volume. Yeah, sometimes I see that too, Kat. You can look at the chart as it's happening and just know where Ross bought. Yeah. I'm not going to short this, but I want to see if I'm at least able to. All right. So I am able to short it. I'm not going to. Let's see. Where would I have shorted it? Let me run the math. I would have shorted at 146 for my starter. So, as it turns out, it went to 148. I would actually be short here if I would have shorted this. Interesting enough. Now, a Chinese stock in an uptrend is the exact scenario that leads to the NPT events where there's massive pump and dumps. Restricted on Webull? No, I was able to short it. I'm on Webull. I was able to. Let me try to put one buy order. I'll put a buy order for like a $1 per share. I was able to buy it. Yeah, I don't Galt, I don't know what you're on about. I'm able to place orders. No, I can buy it. I can buy it, I can short it. This isn't restricted for me. I'll give it a little bit longer. If nothing else comes up, I'm probably going to call it. Unfortunate, right? 2 almost trades. This was just me putting the buy order in. But yeah, 2 almost trades. Well, 1 almost trade really close within 6 cents. 1 kind of far, 20 cents from entry. And this was just a test trade. So, yeah. Unfortunately, today was definitely better. I give a lot of credit to today. Today actually had way more activity than I was expecting for a Friday, especially in this cold market. But it's not enough. We're not seeing stocks make big moves and hold them, right? Everything that moved, if you look at the gap scanner, right? Anything that's moved, like the best holding percentage stock right now would really be ONMD. We're not counting KORE because that one's a buyout. But like this is the best holding stock and it's a penny stock. And it's only up like 30%. So we're just not seeing stocks move and hold above, we'll just say 30%. That's not a, that's by definition a cold market. Tried to scalp and it's restricted for me. It might be a Canadian thing. Yeah, so I'm US, so it might just be location restriction then. Do I stream pre-market daily? I do, every day. If you guys are new here, just a quick shout out, because we're ending the stream soon. I do stream every market day from 7 a.m. till 9 a.m. EST, so if you're new and you want to see more, maybe subscribe to the channel. I will be here every day, allegedly. Unfortunately, this has been an abysmally slow week. I think it's the slowest it's been in over a year. So we are really, really just in the depths of a cold market. I almost got 1 trade. So today was probably actually the hottest day of the week, if you can believe it. And I still didn't manage a trade. It's just, it's rough. What state am I from? I'm from Pennsylvania, sir. Yeah, so I would have been short this. What did I say? 46? Yeah, so I would have been pretty close to the top on the initial one. It's just, this is way too dangerous of a setup. This screams pump. All right, well, we've been here for 8 minutes after the top of the hour. Nothing else seems to be on watch. This one's kind of not the criteria I'm looking for. So I think I'm just going to end it here. This weekend, I do plan to make a review video for the month of February. It's gonna be probably a pretty depressing video, but still worth making to cover it because context is important. But yeah, I'll go ahead and end it here. You guys have a good weekend, and I will see you guys next Monday.